Hello, hey guys. Hope you are doing great. Yeah, so today's a bit late for me, but I wanted to stream. I was having some power issues during my normal streaming time, but let's try this. Hello, Frodo. How are you? Hello, Zigzag. How are you? Yeah, so today we're going to try a scene from The Last of Us. Hello, Make Effect. Hello, Nikori. Hello, Scarlet. How are you? How are you? What's up? What's up? Yeah, so let's just get started jumping because I think we do have quite a lot to do. Now, this is by Aaron Limonink. Let me share a link to his page if you want to check out more of his work. I'm not saying it. Anyway, okay, so yeah, let's get right to it. You good? Amazing. So I guess we can start with the easiest part, which would be the water. Maybe set up the sky. We're going to use cycles, of course. I like just jumping in as we get more people in, because I always want to have people see something while I come in and see us somewhere. Hey, MTO Creations. How are you? Thanks for the dub. And IB14 Live, how's your day as well? How are you? Good evening. Oh, good morning. Oh, it's your side. Okay, okay, so do the water. Yes, set up a sky. You try this dark water with some bit of reflections. Hope you are all in good. Yeah, I'm doing great as well. Okay, so yeah, let's see. I guess we can start by blocking out the scene a bit. And just don't want to do too much in the beginning here. Just want to block out things a bit. I think someone asked for this project, I think on the website. That's why I'm doing it. I think it's some interesting topic to try. Okay, so we need these rivers to be a bit closer. Grab some grass material. If I just have something to look at. We can start doing some base sculpting here. Hey Kapil, how are you? How's your evening? Though, isn't it nighttime where you are? English can be very confusing because evening time is also considered. Sorry, nighttime is also considered evening. I don't know why there is no distinction. Not bad. Great to hear that. Great to hear that. I'm just trying to add in some details on this island. I guess I could just turn this into a single mesh. Actually, let me just block out one with a bit of detail and go back to sculpting. Just a bit of detail here and there. Then I can just see. Hello, TL Monia Studios. How are you? And Akiro, how are you as well? Okay, got this game environment. I'm going to use the botanical add-on to instance to have some grass in here because you can see it's a library of just grass elements, very powerful. Links are in the description if you want to get it. So especially for the vegetation. So let me come here to the side and spawn in a few assets that we can use. Going to add that. Just get some weeds in here. We grab this, maybe it's grass like this. Instance some grass, and I want it to just be, let me do a shrink wrap. The instance I should not show. Okay, I guess need to bring this closer to the camera. Use projection. Add some grass like that. Yes. Hello Akbar official, how are you? Glad to see you joining us. Okay, have some grass there, can duplicate this here. I think I need to recalculate the normals on this. And also just grab this and change the surface to this. Let me turn on proportional editing, just okay. Really love botanical. It's just makes it much easier to populate. Okay. Yeah, something like that. Let me see. That I want this to be a bit rough. So let me add a math node. Hello, Hamanos. How are you? Hello, Hazeron. How did you carve it? I like that. The mesh, carve the mesh. I'm just using proportional editing. So I go to edit mode, turn on proportional editing, and then just, yeah, carve it. And I think I need most of the grass just where the camera is seeing. So there is no point in having the grass or vegetation where the camera is not looking. Okay. Let's go to our building. I just grab a few buildings. Most of the buildings we're going to use, I'm going to model them, but I just want to have some shadows to block out the sun. Actually, let me see. The sun should be on the left. Maybe with a rotation of, say, -45. Yeah, let's bring in a few buildings. Yeah, I want something to block out the sun. Okay. Hey Maxim Videos, how are you? Okay, let's try to create this type of vegetation, or maybe we can start with a simple bridge or a building. I think I do have a building that we could use here. A building like this is detailed enough to, let's see. Is it this? Hey Bobby Alex, glad to see you. Hey. Make it editable. Just remove this lower flow, because I want to replace it with something we just make here. So I'm going to create, let me go to, so that you can see how this building looks. Okay, so this is our building right now. Okay, what I want to do is build on top of it so that I can make the ground floor like it collapsed or something. So I'm going to grab, let me add, let me first isolate this for a bit. Are your assets free, the ones you're using? What do you mean free? Because I made them myself. But I do have some free assets on my website, Blender Everything. If you thank you, Mena, for subscribing. I appreciate that. Hello, NX Coca. How are you? Yeah, you can go to Blender. Maybe this link. I have some free models. You could download some of them there. I usually add there. How are you, YouTube channel? Sorry, I don't know how to spell your name. That's okay. That's okay. I can tell that you're talking to me. Okay, so I want this to be a concrete block like this, and I can use this to basically create this floor. So should have some columns. Okay, not that many. And, yes, trying to see if we can turn this into something that looks like a building. So maybe just try to decorate this somehow. Okay, this should use hello, Yufin Sama. How are you? I'm great, by the way. Can you tell me why I can't see my volume in Eevee? It just looks better for my scene at this case. It just looks better for my scene. Well, I would have to see, like, does it show in cycles? Need some pretty well modeled buildings. I have to add in here. I think I can push this because it's not it's lacking the detail I want. So I think having something like this, yeah, just going to try and turn it into an older building. So Okay. Is this The Last of Us 1 or 2? This is a piece I got from. I don't really remember. I know. Yes. I got this. Last of. Two. And the link is in the chat if you want to have a look at this. The reference image that I'm looking at this. Okay, so we want to find a way to make this look a bit old. So let's try a few things. So this is the material that drives it. Maybe make it a bit. Okay, let me get some grass like this. Texture like that, and first thing I could do is add an empty, because I want to give this. Let me just have the empty here. Give this a green, I don't know, algae growth. So I'm going to use object coordinates, or texture coordinates, and select the empty for that. So let me connect that. Let me do a separate XY. We want the Z. You want the Z. Yeah, the Z. So when I move this, I get that. So this can give us that. And then now we can just use a noise texture. Like this with a map range. Just connect this to the maximum, I think. Hello, minimum. Yeah, you can see how we create a good mask like that. It's the texture is stretched, so I'm going to also use object mapping for this. And you can even add a mapping, vector mapping to this in case you want to scale up the noise a specific way. So maybe give it some detail, some roughness. It's not showing on the camera, but I can see it from different angle a bit. I would have to first see. Maybe you can send some screenshots on Discord. We can look at it later. Hello, Joe. How are you? Glad to see you. Hello, GD Levin. How are you? Okay. Okay. So now we have the mask. We can bring in our texture. I'm just going to use object mapping again for this. Okay. Scale this. This to something like that. And I just blend this maybe with a diffuse. I like to keep my shaders a bit simple, so I'm going to blend this so I can have this connected, and this, and we should have. I wanted to ask you, how long have you been using Blender? About 10 years, I think. Yeah, you can see what we are having now. The building is starting to look a bit older, and I can scale this up if I want to change that level, and I think I do want to change it so that is. Yeah, something like that. Already the building is starting to blend in with the environment, which is great. Yeah. Another thing we could do is let me see. Add some cracks. Let me see if I have some cracks in here. Let me see. Walls. Just any texture will do. That has a bit of cracks in it, I think. Or something like this should also help. But for now, we can leave it at that and start adding some stuff. Let me get some trees. This should help with the back trees that we're seeing there. So yeah, my mic is down. Can you turn up the voice? Okay. Okay. Is that better? That's really long time, but it shows, dude, your stuff is so amazing. I got one more question. I wanted to make my first render with nature like trees. Do you know how I could make trees? Trees, yeah, there are a lot of tutorials you can watch. The issue is trees, they take a lot of time to make. So yeah, that's why you see I try to use plugins like Botanical because they can help with that. I think I also have a tutorial on trees, so maybe that could help as well. Okay. Okay, want some sort of, let me see. So it's like some sort of valley. Okay. Yes, making a few changes to this shader. This is a tree I made from previous in a different video. Okay, now need fewer trees. I think you don't need all of these, but the height should be quite varied. Let me see. Let me get this collection. Can just reinstance. Because we want this to look grander. So for some reason Let's get some rock detail for the close-ups. Okay, let's get some volume. Hello, crazy boy. How are you? Glad to see you. Okay. Okay, think things are starting to look a bit interesting. Okay. Maybe put a mountain down there, down where the trees are between the mountain and the trees. Put the volume scatter in a distance. Okay, let's see. Let's try that. Now, by the way, you can get this mountain on everything. It should be in this model pack. So just if you wondering. Okay. Cool streamer, thank you, TJK. Okay, thank you. Yes, adding some depth to the trees. This tree, I think, should be a bit. Hello, Raman. How are you? And Estes Kama, how are you? I don't know if you see it or not, but there is a gap in the pillars. Oh yeah, I'm seeing. I see. Thank you. I'm seeing it now. Okay, so a gap behind here. Maybe I can just add another building there. Let me add a character somewhere here, the same position. Let's add more rock detail. Can to help make this area look a bit more detailed. Hello friend, what camera do you use? I'm using a 25mm. A 25mm. Is a character who said the skull. Yeah, I think so too. Oh, I also like this light streak that is coming through. Maybe I can change the angle of the light. Or I can just use another. Let's try using an area light here. Like I want a thin strip of light, so let me change this to a rectangle. Make it very thin, like that. Let me see. The angle can be very narrow. And find somewhere. Thank you, Jumandi and Rade for subscribing. I appreciate that. Thank you, thank you. Thank you, thank you. Just trying to create an interesting source of light. And make it even thinner. Should be the same color as the sun. Let's create another strip that should go straight to the wall around there. What's the best focal length for large scales environment? I don't think there is a go-to setting. It's always about experimenting to see what works or what doesn't. And if I hide this light, negative 60. negative 55. Okay, somewhere there. We need, let me see, more detail around this area here. This area here. So let me scale up this. I have these debris as well, like of this broken up house. Can put it on the side there. I really like your channel and your creativity. I'm trying to achieve the same success as you, but it's difficult for me because of bad computer, but it's still continue to do it. I try to create projects that your PC can handle, and when you upgrade, maybe you would see, try and work with what your PC can handle. In the meantime, I don't think this was there. Okay, let's try to create some vegetation. I like here, like this. Maybe let's first add some wires. Some hanging wires, or maybe a bridge. Bridge that tries to cross okay, it's going to be a bridge. Just need to add a few extra details. Hello, Vitalik77. How are you? Have you been? Okay. Can get some wires. Amazing workflow. Thank you, thank you. Which graphics card do you use? You can use exclamation mark specs to see all my specs. Maybe try to add some PNG clouds in the scene. Yeah, let's get those. Cloud. I want like a rainy maybe something like this. I don't have a notify option, I think, as night void notification, I think. I feel that's what you're asking. Let's see. Okay, I'm starting to like the scene and what we have now. Let's add that moody cloud. It wouldn't be bad to add a car with damage on the right side, like a broken virus icon. And I think they do have some cars there, so yeah, that's not it. I want some clouds. Increase the camera clipping. Thank you, Pachita, for subscribing. Appreciate it. Yes, Blender Everything is my website. Actually, made it just, has it been a month yet? I don't think so. I think it has even been a month just yet. Need to. Let's do some dark cloud. I think I'm okay with those clouds. So let's go with those. Okay. I don't have a car that looks like this, but let's see. Let me see if I can get a car from free3d.com. They usually have some good cars that you can download for free. There is one in particular that I remember. It's very light, but also quite detailed. This one is Cinema 4D. Let me check. Let me bring back. And thank you for the 50 likes, guys. Thank you. I appreciate that. Appreciate it. I'm looking for a car that I could use here. I found this. It's free, but I'm not sure how detailed it is because I don't want to download something too detailed. So let's try it and see. Are the lily pads? Definitely. Let's do that. Let's see lily pad texture. This one is high poly. We have used it before. Okay, let's grab a lily pad. Maybe something like this could work. Glad to see you back to the channel. Hope you've been well. I'm doing great. Thank you as well. Thank you for asking, for showing up. Okay, let me see. And why don't you use a plugin for Blender with models from the Blender market? There are a lot of free models and a lot of good things. For most projects I create, I just end up using my own models because I already have them, and I rarely do a project and need models. Except for characters. You can see how many polys it has if it is up to 15k. Okay, let me see. Let me import this OBJ, downloads, yes. Copy this. Seems like a light model, which is great. Just need to make sure that I load in the textures. Doesn't seem to have the textures. Let's see. Okay, I'm not sure how this is supposed to be rendered, but it doesn't look like this, which sucks because I don't want to set up the materials. Anyway, we can try putting in something different. Let's first work on the lilies, these ones here. I'm just going to add a plane, create a new material. We're going to use, and let's stick to the principle and just I think you can make the camera a bit low. A bit low on the ground, so at the scale. Let's come to that. Change the camera position. Maybe see even the water a bit more. Okay, so we have this. Let me first unwrap this. Have a lily. Now I want to keep the object itself, the mesh itself, very simple. Maybe I can add a few subdivisions and just push it a bit down like that. Let me create a mask out of this, an alpha mask. That should be enough for the alpha. This has to be inverted. Okay, I can use alpha clip like that. I can even still use this image to drive the roughness. Is Blender misbehaving? I think you can, yeah, I saw that. Yeah, Control T brings the texture coordinates. Okay, Blender is high for some reason, so let me just restart it. Hey, Kevin Voshagi, how are you? What's up? And let me also make sure that I'm making a backup copy of the project, otherwise we could run it. Okay. Hello, Nitro Pulse. How are you? Yeah, Blender is starting to cry. Okay, but it will be fine. Let's. Need to unwrap this again. Basically, just do the entire process again. Just a tiny bit of elevation. Create a mask out of this. Should be inverted. Just invert it directly. No need to use an extra node. And then compiling shaders again. I think this is why Blender hanged. It was compiling shaders in the background. So we have to wait for it so that Eevee can compile the shaders in the background. And yeah, I was working without compiling shaders, so it's because I have a lot of objects in. It's kind of non-respawning, but it's working in the background too. This version of Blender often crashes. You need an update. I don't think it has anything to do with the version I'm using. It's just right now I have a lot of objects in my scene, and they have a lot of textures. So because I'm previewing in Eevee here, it can become an issue. it's not a Blender problem, it's a computer problem. The computer is running out of RAM, or it's running out of RAM when it's trying to do the, what is it called, the compiling of the shaders. They usually show, they used to show a buffer here of the shaders compiling. I don't know if they are still doing that. I don't know if they are still showing that, but yeah, you can see the textures are already loaded here. So now you just need to bring this here. Okay, we need this. I'm just going to create a plane like this. I give it a hair system. And this hair system is going to have our lily as the object. No need to show the instancer. So I can just extrude this along the edges. Maybe. Okay. Apply rotation. Make sure that the rotation of these particles is correct. So no more. No. Z object or Z global. Y global. Yeah, something like this. Actually, I need to make sure that these are all up like that. We don't need 100, 1,000. We can use maybe 100. Play with the. Make sure that you do that. Oh, someone suggested we lower the camera, so let's do that. Maybe bring it closer to the water. Do it with alpha in a clean scene and just copy it to the scene, so there are fewer problems in this version. Huh? I'm not sure I follow what you mean there. No way, I wasn't there when you reached 62K. Yeah, we did. We have been getting quite a lot of subs lately, so it really has been amazing. Need to randomize the rotation of these. I don't want this rotation. Okay, where is my original? Okay, then I can randomize the phase. Okay, you can see some of these are a bit yellowish, so you can come here. Maybe let me first turn on proportional editing. Just I think I can even just so we can have lilies like that everywhere. Okay, I want some of these to have damage, so I'm going to create to get a nice texture like this. I want to use object mapping. Just do a color ramp I can select an object anywhere in the world. That should help randomize. Actually, I need to. Something like that. And so this is the alpha. I can use a color ban, I think. I need to blend these with something like a color ban. That should make the edges let's try color dodge. I think it should be color ban. Now, because I want, you see, each of these instances has the same damage, which is not going to look very natural. So I want this to be a bit unique for each object. So what I'm going to do is just use the input object info. It has this random value, and you can see if I play with the Z, I think, is it, what is, let me see. Let's see, can I use subtract? Or is subtract? Yeah, I think subtract could work. I want to add some damage to some of these lilies, but I don't want it to be uniform. So what I'm going to do is just randomize the Z depth of the Z location. Because it can be the Y. You can see it creates random value. So I can just use combine XY and then just use this random index here. And I can even, you can now see that each of these has a unique pattern, which is, and I can even amplify that by using a math node here. Just do a multiply. You can see that each of these now has a completely unique patch. And that's the yellow bit that I want to add in. So but I don't want all of these because now this is going to reflect as damage on these lilies like this, but I don't want all of them to be damaged, so I can do a random value. Does this have a random value? We don't have a random value in here, but I guess we can do a random. Yeah, I can just use this random object, random value here, and clip this or use a car ramp to clamp it to values of 1 and 0. So some will have damage, some will not. So I will just, so we can, let's preview it as I'm working on it here. So you can see all of them have damage. It's very random, but I can do, and the damage is caused by this, this here. If I blend these two and just use this as a factor, we should have damage on some and sometimes not. Let's see. Let's see. Oh, that's hiding everything. I think we need to do that before. Let's see. Let me see. Yeah, now it's working. You can see some basically don't have damage at all. What is the shortcut for using? When you have two nodes like this, you can use Control Shift and then drag from one node to the other, and it will do that. Let me actually add my shortcuts. Oh, thank you guys for the 69 likes. I appreciate that. Now let's add some, make some yellow. So we can use the same setup. I can do a color mix RGB here and do, use this as a factor. Now basically to add in that yellow to make them look a bit yellow in some areas. Now their green should also be a bit mixed. Let me see, a color. There's a color here. Let's see how this looks. Too orangey. Okay, I think something like that is better. I think you missed it, so I'm putting it again. Is there a way where artists can sell or give away their model or things there on your website? I have no sale option, and I don't think I have it. I also don't have the upload function just yet, but that's something I'm thinking of doing in the future. But if you want to give out your model, maybe you can do that in Discord, because I do have a channel for that. If you want to share your models for free on Discord. Let me make this water more reflective, I think. Yeah. Just a bit rough, but not too much. Okay, let's do this vegetation here. The vegetation, this ivy plants. I think that's better handled with maybe geometry nodes. So let's try and see. So if I have a plane, you could use an ivy generator, but I don't really have one right now. Let me see. Let me see if I have any ivy. Do you plan on adding ivy to hang on the building? Yes. That's actually what I want to do right now, but I'm wondering if I should make it myself or just get something. Ivy, another thing you have to note about ivy is a bit heavy, so you need to be, because it adds a lot of geometry to the scene, it becomes quite heavy. It can be quite heavy for the scene. Let me first, and I'm trying to find a better way to approach the ivy. So let's begin with a plane, a simple plane like this. Just subdivide it. We need a leaf. So let me go to my textures, grab a leaf, something. Let me try this. Upper translucent. Look at the alpha channel here. Yeah, sure, I'll share it there on Discord. Can I post Gumload links? Yes, you can. Okay. Can invert these. I want to see if I can create an ivy out of this. I think I need some extra polygons for this. Okay. So let's go to geometry nodes, new setup, drag this in. I call it branch. Yeah, sorry, in. Now let's see. So the first thing we do is use instance on points or distribute points on faces to have some points. and 2 instance on points, and this is going to be our instance. So rotated the wrong direction, so should be facing down like that. And then should be a bit, I see, should take on the rotation. I see. Yeah. I need a vector math, or is it a rotate Euler to just rotate these to the right direction? Let me first wait. Just randomize the scale. Just hoping that that would be enough to create some lilies that are convincing without doing too much, and without making the scene too heavy. Okay, I think I also need to offset the particles a bit, so let me do a set position and add some random value vector just to offset this a bit. I think I can use a vector math here to scale this as well. Let me just see. Okay, now let me see if this is good enough to do the job we want. Yeah, let me bring the density down. Let's see. Okay, that's too thick. You know what? I don't think I mind that. Maybe you can randomize the rotation just a bit. So I can do a random rotate, and let me do a vector math, or rotate Euler here, and just use a random value. Let's expose the seed, and I also add a scale node here just to control how much randomness we want. And now we have an IV. It's not the best, almost realistic, but for this case it should be enough. And that's what we are all about. As long as it looks good. That's too much. Can you make an anime character tomorrow? I'm not very good at character modeling, so yeah, that's an issue. And I think we need some sort of light here. Yes. To highlight this a bit. Yeah, let me. Other streams, thank you, Kaidmon, thank you. Do you plan adding IV on the bridge? Yeah, definitely, yeah. Okay, let me do that now. Thank you, D-Dog, for subscribing. Appreciate that. I can make these, try to mimic the same shapes that we're seeing. Okay, we need some wires for the ivy to hang on. So let me get some wires. Hello. Here's a thought. There are 40 plus people watching this stream. If we all chipped in $20 for Top Channel to get a new machine, I bet the stream would be epic. I don't feel obligated to donate, man. I'm just enjoying myself here, chatting with you guys. And the reason why I haven't gotten a new machine is simply because I just don't want to get into the habit of updating my hardware, because like I've said this a lot of times, I bought this PC in the middle of the pandemic, so it hasn't been more than 2 years. So I just don't want to get into the habit of buying a new machine every. It can get very, very expensive. What config do you have? You can use exclamation mark specs, but it's a 1060 with 8 GB RAM. And working around constraints like this helps a lot, because you learn how to optimize your projects. Otherwise, I'll just be throwing polygons, more and more polygons in here. That's bad? You're serious? Is it that bad? It does the work for me, I think. I'm struggling with that 3090. Wow. I got the one. This man is proof that your PC can out of this world at his basic PC specs. Yeah, I just like to limit myself sometimes. But hey, if you have the money to to donate, I would really appreciate that. But I never feel obligated to do that. Okay, let's see. I want to copy modifiers to this control. Yeah, I'm here working with my potato PC, but we'll manage. We'll make it work. Oh, I guess that's why I need a new computer, because Blender does that. Okay, let me see. If you have some questions, do not hesitate. Are you asking me, Big Daddy Productions? Oh, you mean buying a new machine completely depends on the type of work you do, and if your work is being hindered or running out of GPU, then it's time to upgrade. I guess so. But you would be able to show us more tips with new tricks, new capabilities. But I get where you're coming from, though. Yeah, I would definitely do better with a new PC. That is true. But for now, I will have to just work within the limitations of this machine. Okay, let me have this IV on the left as well. What key do you use to duplicate multiple times at once with the same distance between? That's Shift R. It's a repeat action option. So if you duplicate like that and then you use Shift R, it will basically do the same thing. Yeah. How long have you been working? About 10 years, give or take. For some reason, my PC crashes when I'm importing high poly models, and even though it's a mid-range PC, Ryzen 360 16GB, 16GB of memory, is not a small PC. Sometimes it could crash because you're compiling. Do your models come with textures, and how big are the textures? If the textures are around 4K a year, and you're working with Eevee struggles a bit. Eevee can struggle a bit around that area. Okay, let's add IVs on this. Okay, I think I'm starting to like how this is coming. Yes. Oh man, been on phone to customer for over an wow. Oh, your client? I hope it's great news. Thank you for subscribing. I'm sorry I can't pronounce the name, but thank you. Appreciate that. Was it good news? I was grab this. Just final changes. Yeah, clients, I know. I know the feeling. I'm just glad I don't have to deal with clients anymore, man. Because they can be something. Good for images to do and print. And print is tomorrow. Wow. What time is it then? Like how many hours are you left with? Yes, I was a freelancer. I used to do programming and graphics design. Now, what I hated most about clients is that they would give you work or a job, you finish it, they pay, and you don't hear from them for like 6 months. And then after that, they contact you again after 6 months to do some changes on work you don't even remember doing. So I used to do on Upwork and Fiverr, but I didn't do too much on Upwork. Mostly Fiverr. Let's bring these trees down. Getting the proper lighting for scans is the tough part, and I don't have any lights. And you don't have any lights? Oh, you do for scanning, photogrammetry? That's nice. find it to be quite difficult to do. Especially you need a lot of photos, and the processing can also take some time. For characters, the only thing I recommend is looking for game assets imports. Destiny 2 has a lot of great character sets that can find for free, online for free. Thank you, Mark Carter, for subscribing. I appreciate that. I appreciate it. Let's find a proper angle for this. Okay, I think I'm going to call this stream done and this art piece done. Although that looks very nice in this type of scene. Let me see if I can get that. Where viewport thirds. Okay. Let's compose this on the thirds and see. Okay, have our character there. Yeah, that's not too bad. Did you try like score render? If you did, what do you think of it in comparison to Eevee? So I've tried it, but the issue I found with it is that you have to do a lot of work because each shader system or its materials are not the same as cycles. So you have basically to relearn how to create shaders or materials, which sucks. Hey Ilya Scan Uchiha, how are you? What have I done so far? Well, this is it, and I think I'm going to call this stream done. Anyway, thank you for watching. If you want to get some vegetation for your scenes, you can try out Botanical. It's an amazing add-on or library of different types of vegetation, from trees, grass, and it also has some nice scattering features. As you can see, I'll leave the link in the chat. In case you want to get it. Good themes, a good stream. Apologies being so absent lately. And no, it's okay. I understand. I understand you get that money, man. Yeah, it's okay. That's a great thing that you're doing work. It's amazing. To see that you're getting some clients. Yeah. See you tomorrow, guys. Thank you. Appreciate it. And yeah, thank you for the 103 likes. I appreciate it. And Thank you, Bereket. Bereket, yeah. Yeah. Bobby Alex, Kapil, Kuba. Thank you guys. Thank you. Ilyas Khan, Ibrahim Ayad, Zain, Kashif. Yeah, catch you guys in the next stream.